Hi, good evening. Hi, Ike. Hi, Manish. I am Kiyashwini. Thank you. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Srini. My birthday was good. No, I go to Cartwright, Srini. Hi, Nitesh. Thank you. Thank you, Nitesh. So let's give a couple of more minutes. Good group in between, we can run our daily scans and see what. Let me just hide this. So I want to try first with my inside day scans. Oracle, Nike, Affirm. Splunk, I think, has caught my eye after a very long time. So I am interested in Splunk. PLNK. Splunk. Then Nike. Even Oracle is making holiday news every time. Twilio. Fubo. I already ran Fubo. Hi, Mr. Singh. Hi, Roland. Thank you. Hi, Sainath. Thank you. Hey, Hamid. Good evening. Hi, Sai. So do you have any other ticker in your mind which you think we can evaluate, we can check? If you have, you can let me know. Tesla, Moderna, because it's a very big list. I want to remove things which are not working from my list and move in there. XPEV has a breakout, Neo had breakout, banks are already running, so I'm not taking them. Tesla included, like it's right there. XLF. But we need to remove some of the stocks from here so that we know. Yeah, I think FedEx is good. Snap, Square is good. Spotify. Okay, we can check about all these stickers one by one. Let me just check on any uh, events coming for early next week. Let me just check economic calendar if we have anything lined up for this week. Let me filter only for the US market. Here, United States. This week, 9 o'clock capacity utilization, it's not that important. Building permits Tuesday, so Home Depot can have some impact. Crude inventories Friday, Wednesday. Thursday we have jobless claims. These are weekly jobless claims. Manufacturing 8:30. Unemployment, existing home sales, service PMI. So practically there's not big economic event week. So if there's nothing from economic event side, I think we can, if we follow a direction, we can carry it on. FedEx we already have, like in the list. FedEx we have. UPST, like if I keep on doing so many stocks, then we need to be focused. We need to just pick up 2-3 stocks which are good. I want to cut down from this list and this list and pick up stocks which are looking really good. Okay. So we can do one thing, we can evaluate all of them, and at end of the day, we can cut down and uh, figure out that yes, these are the best two things in our list and focus on them. This way, we will have all the analysis, but we'll also have a very focused, high conviction trades, which we should pick if market works in the direction we are anticipating. All right. So let me just have beyond. Yes, beyond. I think I have beyond. Okay. So let me start. I think we are pretty much in. Let me just start analysis first. So first thing first is ES. Let me just remove the volume just to make it much more readable. So ES did break out of this head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. So if we take a screenshot here and put this on a paint like this, then our inverted head and shoulders is complete. Right there, this is the left, this is the head, this is the right, this is the neckline. It's bouncing. So I should anticipate new highs because this is the length which it should move, which around comes out around this, and that is the main resistance line. All right, so if I go here, so the next resistance line is all-time high. We will break it out because this was the channel which we break out of. So let me just remove this channel now because we don't need it anymore. Remove drawing. And this one I want to limit. Cancel the right extension. Yeah. So here, these are our like bigger levels which we need to keep in mind. And these are the short-term levels. 4485 is pretty strong. And this one is 4546, which almost equates to the all-time highs, 4549. So I think we have, if this holds and we break out of this 4485 area, most likely we are looking for 4600. We'll go straight there. Because I am under the opinion that yes, whatever negative news or negative thing market was looking for, they already have discounted that. And Fed is still infusing money. They are going to start tapering, but you need to understand they are still infusing money, infusing dollars. And when they're infusing, those dollars going to come. And those dollars are going to give you some good moves. So our chart or my setup gives me an idea that yes, 4600 should be on the cards. And we need a confirmation for that. We should enter above 4474. That's the trade. So here I am not giving any negative bias because it's gone. It's totally positive. Inverted head and shoulders, I'm just because it's complete. So it's positive. Now it should be bought above 4474. Target is 4483, 4505. And I'm about 70 to 80% confident on it. Stop loss is a little tricky because stop loss is a little far. It's about 30 points. And both the 34 EMA and the 12 EMA, they are converging towards each other. If you see here, let me just increase it. They are both converging. And once they converge, the long-term trend will also become positive, which is on the basis on the daily candles. So if it comes around 4400, that will be an amazing entry. I don't know if that can happen or not, but if it does, then it's really, really great. But 444 should be an amazing area to come in and go long, which is about 20 points from here. But still, that's an area where I would keep my stop loss. So I would say 4474, 4460. This is a good entry area if we can break it and keep the stop loss like this. Then we have most probable chances to break 4383. And once we do that, then we can do a follow-up, and that follow-up will be 4504. It has seen some resistance in the past, 4504, but if we break this time, then we are going up. Right now, this resistance may not be strong enough because the long-term trend line has moved upper, because in the long term, we are moving up. So break above 4483 can really push the market. So I'm super confident that yes, if I go long above 4483, I will be looking for some all-time high, maybe this week or early next week. Then triple Q. Like if people do not do ES, let me just do SPY for them so that you can use the SPY. SPY also, like here, the SPY do not trade that much after hours, so the inverted head and shoulder was not pretty much evident, but it is holding this gap. And once it starts to hold the gap, it can carry on and build a long-term move out of it. See, we have a gap in SPY right here, and that gap never filled. That means it can carry on its strength. So right now, if we hold this gap and continue, we can carry on to 455. We can break up the all-time highs. So 444 is a super stop loss for SPY in case you are going long. And let me just add this here, SPY, because people use SPY. Stop loss is again 444. And anybody who do not know how to translate this, I recommend usually roughly divided by 10. ES divided by 10, you will have SPY. Then the target areas here will become, this will be 448. This is the area you see here. It had some consolidation and it saw some difficulty crossing this 12 EMA line and was struggling. And I would see 44836, 4483 will be our first target. Again, like it's coming into the same level, 4483 target. Next will be, there's no resistance in the zone, 455. So I'll take that 455. And I'm 70% confident. Buy area, buy as near as you can to this. This is the area where we had the low and the highs. It's struggling here. So a good buy area will be 444.70. Buy in 444. See, everything is automatically falling in that range. 75 to 446. I'll just switch this. 446 to 446. And we have futures opening in about an hour, 20 minutes. So most likely we're going to have some bump on the upside on the ES. Triple Q, as we anticipated from 359 levels, that yes, is going to show some strength. 359, bang, 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 bang. So it's on its way to 375. We are going to test it. So the stop loss will become 365.60, which was our target on Friday. 365.60 is our stop loss, triple Q, and this is our target, 374.57. And with Apple event and Amazon finally picking it up, I'm sure triple Q will move. Facebook, Google was kind of eased off on Friday. Only Amazon and Tesla were showing strength. So I would say, let's remove this. Buy above 368 on triple Q. This is 364, 890. So here, this was the area where we had. So I will still say buy over 368. That's the area where it has seen some kind of resistance. If it breaks above here, there is no resistance and it can easily cross this. And this is a new month. So usually new month, if we are above the green line, it shows some strength. If we are, because red line or the 34 EMA has came back after a very long time, it's holding it. But now if it breaks above and hold it above it, usually you see when there is a closing on the higher end, there is a big strength next day on the monthly candle. If closing on the downside, there's a follow-up downside. If the closing in downside, the follow-up is downside. So which you need to follow the trend that whenever there is a strong closing, the first day of the month is strong. Whenever there is a bad closing, the next day is bad. But every time it is bad, it has picked up next day. So I would imagine that yes, we'll be testing 374 and 374 can be easily tested with a stop loss of 365.60. 365.60 will be an awesome entry if we can get that. Again, 70% confident. Apple, I am super positive, and I talked about Apple a couple of days back as well, that 139 is a good support. It finally closed above 144.50 and above the 34 EMA, which it has failed to do since long. Almost like the entire expiry, previous month expiry for futures, it was not able to manage and close above it. This time it can. Above 146, there's no big resistance. It will go to 147.80 and 149.80. So I'm very positive. My stop loss is 144.70 now. That's it. I'm super positive here. My stop loss has moved up 144.70. And I'll be interested to buy here if it breaks above 146. And my target will be 147.50 and 149.80. And with Apple event coming on Monday, I will consider this continuation, and it can break out. It can break out, and it has very much good strength backing it up. 70% positive. Like I'm not even thinking about negative as of now. I'll be buying this dip if I get a dip. All right. Then we had Amazon. So Amazon, like every time we saw it breaks above this line, it simply goes up. Same thing happened on Friday. It broke above 12 EMA, and then boom, we had a very excellent closing on Amazon. Now 3384 is a super duper support. And you see previously it break up here, went down and test 34.63. And similar setup is here. If it breaks up here, it's gonna go and test 34.63 and 34.95. 34.95 has been a pain for Amazon for some time, but if market needs to move up, some of the stocks like Facebook has lost enough. Google has been on the lower end as well as compared to others. So Amazon has to break this out. If we break 34.95, we are going above. We are going to the all-time highs, which is 3,700. So if you're long and looking to trade Amazon, 33.84 is an awesome entry point if you get. So Amazon, oh yeah, I missed AMD. I'll come back to AMD. 33.84 is an amazing stop loss. I'm sure if we open on a gap, it may come back initially for a few minutes to fill the gap and then run. Pick it at that moment. That's what I will do. And it should open above 34.29 has been a pain. So if it opens out 34.29, yes, it's an excellent buy between 31.10 to 34.29 after gap fill. I'm just mentioning this after gap fill just to make sure that tomorrow, if it opens out 34.29 and it tries to come back maybe 34.10, 15, I will enter at that moment and then run it. And this is my target. So I'm super positive on Amazon. I can increase it to even 80%. I'm so confident on this at this moment. AMD chart is good. There are two things in AMD. If you see in the weekly, AMD weekly is really, really strong. Let me get rid of some of the drawings here so that we do not get mixed. Give me one moment. Let me remove some of them. Double, triple. Come on. This is the line, right? 94,107. This is the previous line. This is a strong one. Then we have this one. No, they are correct. They are there. This is fine. There's no multiple layers here. It has not seen a weekly closing above 111 only once, and then it had the evening star. So here it has breakout closed above 111. I think it's really sign of a strength. A move of 113 can be really good, and it can test 118 and 122. So I'm pretty bullish on AMD. The only thing is this, it needs to be here, but I'm a little less confident because it should have shown some strength on Friday, but it did not. And again, anybody who's looking at this sheet, you need to be mindful of the fact that I tried to take this into consideration, that first, wherever the market is, and then I try to pick the strength of the stock in that direction. Supposedly Monday morning, ES is in this range 4474, and AMD is showing strength instead of Amazon. Then I will not pick up Amazon. I will pick AMD and then try to enter above this and look out for these targets. I will not even touch any other stock. The idea is to pick maybe one, maybe two trades, run on them, ride on them, rather than picking up 10 different trades, be lost, be confused, and don't make money. Pick one good trade. It may come out that yes, it may hit your stop loss. It's fine. Then pick up the next trade. But do not have multiple positions open at the same time, because that creates panic, confusion, and you lose your focus. I try to have maybe one position or at most two positions open at one time. All right. So Google, I don't want to cover Google. Instead, I want to pick up Splunk instead of Google. But I can show you Google. It's right here. It's kind of getting rejected with this trend line. You see here, it's every time it's coming here, it needs the strength. Plus, it needs to break out above here and cross this area, which is a good supply zone, this pink box. So I tend to wait, or I tend to move to a stock where I don't see any supply zone. So this is the long-term trend line of my channel. It had been showing some level of resistance here. Even on Friday, it opened above it, opened 28.34, 28.30, then went down and closed right around it, almost flat. So I have better trades than Google as of now. But if you want to pick it up above 28.48. But it will not be a very good stock to run because it has some supply or sellers are here in this zone. Why I'm saying that, you see here, it's being sold in this area every time it comes around this. So it needs to break out about 28.97 to cancel out this effect. And I can pick up any other stock in between. So I'm ignoring Google. Instead, I'm picking Splunk. Splunk has broken out, has an inside day, and this was a good supply zone for Splunk. Previously in the earnings, it has shown some negative status. Here you see it's making inverted head and shoulders, couldn't break out, failed. But now it's finally breaking out. It's breaking out with from here. It had with morning star, then again continuation, and it's showing excellent strength. And it's an inside day. So I would like to play on the inside day on Splunk. If it goes above 167, I'll be a buyer. If it goes below 162, I will be a seller because it has both sides open. If it breaks, it might come down to test the 12 EMA and show this level of strength. In between, it will fill the gap. If it doesn't do that and comes around 159 and jumps again, then it will show more strength and go up. And if it opens above this 167, then yes, it's already showing strength of positiveness. So it has more of buy on dip strategy than actually making short. So I'll be actually trading Splunk on inside day. And I'll be buyer in a range. But it's the previous range was pretty massive, like $5-7 for Splunk. So I'll be a buyer between 162 to 165 area. 162 to 165, and stop loss will be 160 for me, 159.90 just to be precise. And target which I'm looking for is let me make some yeah, this is the area. Let me see some new regression now. Oh, let me just continue this. Activate the drawing. It's in the long-term trend line down. Let me just delete this drawing and let me make some new levels here. It's taking the support right here, breakout, test, the gap is held, breakout. Above 167, it can definitely run and it can run up to 175. 175 is a good area. So Splunk is showing some strength. So I'm looking for 175 in Splunk and I'll mark it about 60% because I have not traded that in a very, very long time. That's the only reason I'm just marking it at 60%. Nvidia, like AMD, was not able to like breach out this 218 area and struck. But one thing which is positive, it is holding on to this gap and it's a breakout about two inside days back into back. So probably tomorrow this green line will be converged above the 34 EMA and we will have some strength in it because the trend will be changed. Plus it has managed to cross above this long-term support line and now it's at the Fibonacci of 218.87, a break about 218.87. It's good, goes to 223. So I'll be looking forward for Nvidia, but again, this is not my good conviction trade. I'm just marking this at 60% because like AMD, it should have broken out on Friday. Some buy above this. Stop loss is let me check on the stop loss for here. It comes around 211 to, no, that's too far. So here I would mark this because this is the close, and it respected this close, touched it and bounced. So 216.62 should be marked as stop loss. You need to, like, when you are looking at stop losses, make sure you go back into the chart and see where in the last time, if that level comes and market has shown some level of strength or support to that stock. So here, this was a close. Here it shows some strength, and if I go back further and see, this is the area. This is the area which was area of last resistance. So it's showing some strength in this area, 215, 216. That's why I picked it up. All right. Then Facebook. Facebook is grinding. Facebook is grinding, and I think it needs to break above 331 to show any positive sign. But one thing which is pretty clear for Facebook, it's not a trade for the ER. I'm not anticipating anything big on the ER. It needs to break out above 331.42 to show. This is usually a evening star, a dodgy, not an evening star. It's like, because both the candles are green, you need to call this something else. It's not dodgy, evening star. But one thing which I wanted to show is on the weekly candles, this was an evening star. It got rejected. Then we are making lower lows every time, and lower highs every time. We are near the long-term trend line support. So I would not jump on Facebook. So I'm going to get rid of Facebook from my list. But I will be jumping on Facebook once it breaks above 331 area. As of now, I am just ignoring Facebook. It may run to 231, 331, but I have better stocks than Facebook to jump here. So I'm just removing it. I just wanted to talk about this so that we can understand. Instead, I will pick up Moderna. And if you know, I was short on Moderna since 454. It came to 300 again. I'm short on Moderna still. Many people don't like this, but you see, it's a bearish engulfing. And even on Friday, it came in an area where it has seen some resistance in the past. This area, 338, 342. Pre-market tested it, but no, it failed. So bearish engulfing, I'm still looking forward to 257 gap to be filled. So I am super short on Moderna. It's not even neutral. I'm just sell on rise. Every time it comes here, I just want to sell on rise. Keep a stop loss of 333. So sell on rise between 320 to 328. 333.75 is the stop loss. Potential targets will be, first one will be 314. And then next one comes at 298. Because here it showed some strength. And I am 70% negative on this. So I'm just marking this as red. So it's a sell on rise. Every time it comes around this range, I'll prefer to sell it. Netflix again is kind, has a ER, but it showed a bearish outside day candle, which is not good, which is practically not good, and it has ER. So I tend to avoid ER because my experience in ER is pretty nasty. I've lost more than enough times that I've actually made money on the ERs. So I'm not going to test ER trade. But if I have to trade this, this is bearish engulfing. The entire body here of the Friday candle covered the body and the wick for Thursday, which usually is not a good sign. A break below 622 can be really ugly for Netflix. It can come down to 600. But again, it's a ER stock, so I'm not going to put it into my list, but I just want to share my view. It's looking bad. It should have broken because it has seen some resistance around 634 area. Now it needs to had a closing, especially a weekly closing above this. It's making a weekly inside week, which and also showing a supply zone here. You see the sky blue arrow and the gap between the candle and the 12 EMA is too much. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 candles are there. And usually there is also an indicator that after 9 or 10 cycles, it comes to come back. So I will not be marking it as bullish. I'll be considering this as bearish. But I'm not the one to pick this up. I'm not trading this trade. Sell on rise 622 to 631. Stop loss is 635. Target is 600, 577. Shop, I think we can pick up, instead of shop, we can do affirm. I'm just reading the comment. MK money flow shows some distribution. I need to check on that, MK. I need to check it out. And I will pick up all the tickers one by one once I'm done with my list so that we can all discuss. And then I'll also share the Zoom link in the YouTube chat so that you can come and then we can have a discussion, a conversation actually around it. So Affirm, let me just check. Affirm actually did my target and it tested this line, which is the long-term resistance line. It tested right on the money and then it kind of left from there. It's making inside day and there's substantial gap. So either you can do a short here or you can wait to do a buy. Every time this has shown this thing, consolidation, then it follows up with a very big candle next time. So if I have to be a person who has missed out on a firm, I'll be looking to add it around 135. I'm not recommending any short here, but I will be a buyer at 135 if somebody wants to pick it up. Again, I'm not including this in my list because it's right in this zone. Either it has to break out above 154 or come around 135. In between, it will be very, very choppy and it has very high premium options. So I am reluctant to jump into a firm in my list. So I'm just ignoring it, but I'll be making a note that I'll be entering into a firm at 135 area, or if it breaks above 154. Above 154, it has 159. Above 159, it has a massive target and it's like super extended. So I will make some new levels after that. Right now, it's like massively extended from 53 to 159. That's about 423% on Fibonacci extensions. All right, so let's ignore a firm for now. I'll pick up Nike then instead of a firm. Nike, we started discussion Nike about a week back when we were on 147, 148, and we were looking for 158 target, which it almost achieved. If you remember, we were talking that 148 above, it can go up. So people tend to ignore this as it's not a very fast moving ticker, but it gives you a good money if you take it to the moon, like take it to the end. So now above 158.71, you can have a good move in Nike. It has filled the gap on the downside and which was created. It has filled the gap. So now it should show some strength above 158 and look for 169 target. You see, it still held the big gap which it created. That is why I was super bullish at this area. If it break down by 146, then it would have come down and filled the gap at 140. But now it held that gap. And whenever it holds that kind of gap, it tends to move much higher. Additionally, it's kind of making an inverted head and shoulders right there. So I'll be a buyer at 155 or maybe 153 stop loss and look forward to go long in Nike, or it needs to break above 158. Both cases, it's also making an inside day. So I'm looking forward for Nike above 158.71. So Nike is an inside day, but green. So I'm marking it positive. So buy above 158.70. Stop loss is 155.37. And target I'm looking for is, there's a gap here. So one gap is 163.40. So 163.40. And then we have 169 target. It has shown some strength, so I'll give it a 70% conviction on the higher side. Roku, I think Roku and Disney both will have impact from Netflix numbers. And this is evening star, but like, would you call this evening star? It's like right at the bottom range. The only caveat here is we are at the bottom and downtrend in Roku, and it's not able to have a close above the 34 EMA, which I really need. So now it can be traded on the positive side only and only if we break out above. Let me just remove the studies here. Need to break out and 333. If we close off 330, then yes. So I'll be still, and stop loss is 321. So I am marking this as a neutral right now. Buy above 331, stop loss is 321.75. And targets are still open, but conviction has come down because it did not break out. It tried a couple of times, but once it breaks above 331, I'll be jumping on this and I'll not be missing the train on Roku. And I'm also giving it a different color because I'm neutral on this. So this way. FedEx or UPS both are exactly the same in terms of setups. Why it's showing me this? And it needs to break out over 229. So a break above 229 again can test 235 and 238. FedEx is still positive, 239 and 238 here. It's a setup which is in place. UPS, FedEx, both are ready to move. Supply and demand issues, they're going to create some good results for FedEx. Because there's a massive demand and the supply is little. So they're going to push the market for this. Showing some strength here, a breakout above this where the buyers have shown some strength and it's also making a W right there. A W will be confirmed here. Once W is confirmed, it will fill the gap and test 254. So it has shown the strength similar to UPS. So both the charts are there. FedEx is positive. Snap has been really in a good zone, but I don't know what is wrong in Snap, that yes, every time it comes around 78.48 area, it fails. You see, there's a massive consolidation. It's a consolidation of almost quarter to this earnings. It's not breakout above 78. It did not break down between 72. It's in this range. So there's a very high possibility that either it will have a massive breakout or a massive breakdown. If it does a massive breakout, it can test 11111, which is about 35% from here. If it does a massive breakdown, it will fill the gap at 62, which is still 20%. So the trade above 78 can be really, really massive. So I would recommend to see, and if I'm trading this, I'll be picking up something very, very cheap on Snap. Let me see if I have to pick up, I'll be picking Snap. Maybe not October calls, January 2021. I'll be picking up the cheapest of the cheap call, maybe at $1. 100 calls at $1, $1.80, $1.90. I'll be picking few of them. If it breaks out, this can easily convert into $5 or $6 pretty easily. So that's the trade I'm looking forward to in terms of Snap. And if it comes around this range and fill the gap, possibly it may go down further. So I'll be looking forward to only enter now above 78.48. I get a single day closing above 78.48. I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it to jump onto Snap. So Snap, I'm bullish, and I'm this time marking above 78.48. Buy above 78.48. And if you are a day trader, or if you try to trade for swings, make sure you have a close. Whatever candle you want to use, I use half an hour in the daily time frame. So if it closes above 78.48 for half an hour, I'll definitely be jumping on this. And target I'm looking here is 87 first, 86, 87, yes. So 86, 87. And let me just check on 30-minute candle that was it able to do any close above 78.48 on 30-minute. See, there was never a close over 78.48 on a 30-minute candle, even after this massive strength. That's why I'm saying if it breaks 78, there could be a massive, massive strong move, which I would not miss. So I'm super bullish on Snap. Then we have Square. I am done with Square, so I don't want to touch it. It has done its target. Square. I want to pick up Oracle, or like I'll say Neo or Tesla. Neo and Tesla. Let's pick up Tesla. Tesla did my target of 845, which I've been saying for quite few weeks. And I think Ike was looking for Tesla. CC, no resistance, tested 845 to the point. Okay, now 845 to 860 or 875. It's something you should try to see. You want to trade this, or you want to trade out of this? I'll be just showing you a weekly candle here. See, this is the area where it has struggled after a massive consolidation of more than like 10 months. It's coming in this range. So for sure, it's going to see some level of resistances, but a breakout above this can be really, really, really positive on Tesla. It can easily test $1,000. Like above 845, the next resistance is 929. And then third one comes at 1172. So 875 area is something I would like to see whether it holds or whether it kind of fades, because every earning it tends to give up. It does show positive things, but then give up. So I just want to see if on earnings it shows that kind of strength or not. The earning is not too far away, but if I have to trade this, I would be jumping on this above 870. But on trend wise, Tesla is super bullish. And if you want to trade for a day or intraday, 845 is a good area. And look for 870 target on 870 on Tesla with a stop loss. Stop loss in this case will be a problem because stop loss will be really good. We need to take this stop loss here 810, which is like the risk reward is not good in case of stop losses for Tesla. Because here there's no area where it has shown some strength. It's no area in the past few months. So this is the only piece where it has shown some resistance, so which is 810, 811 area. So I would pick up 810. Hamid, again, guys, I'll be jumping on the chat once I'm done. I'm just 2 stocks down, and as soon as I'm done, I'll post the link so that we can talk easily and go through all the points which you have. I'm not going to miss any of it because today's Friday, Sunday, so I have time. I can easily interact with you. Just few more minutes. Spotify. Spotify, I did not check even on Friday, but it's making higher highs, higher lows, which is a positive sign that 12 EMA has breached up. So if I have to draw some levels on this, let me just do that. Yeah, I need to pick up this one in case of levels. Yeah. You see, now I just created this, and you see everything will fall in its place. This is my Fibonacci 23%, 232, and you see it's taking support at 232. Here it got rejected at 249. So I will be a buyer at 249. 249 is not a big resistance. It has broken out, holding the gap, making higher highs, higher lows. So I'll be bullish. I'll be looking for 256 above 249. 249. I'll be looking for 256 first. And the 269 is still there. And stop loss in this case now will be this area, 243, the same area, which is the low, 243.50. I think that's the same, 243.50, 40. Again, it's not too much, but I'm just calling it 60%. Microsoft has struggled 305 area in the past. It has seen some, but this time again, like Microsoft always posts massive numbers, and the kind of money flow we have, if it breaks out 305.65, it will test 310, and then 328. So really bullish on Microsoft. It did close above this 303 area, 304 area. So I'm positive on this. I just want to go long above 305.65. And just keep 3 or 391 as my stop loss. All right, so this is my list, which I'll be looking forward to. We can talk about all these and a couple of more which we may have. Let me post the Zoom link in the chat. Y'all can come over there and we can continue our discussion on Zoom. Here is the link. You can come over and then we can discuss. Hi, good evening. Once again.
Hey, Naval, here.
Hi, Neho. Let's wait for more people to join in. And once we have, so in between, I'll be keeping the streaming on so that we can record this conversation as well. And anybody who is looking forward to look at all these stickers, they can. And let me publish this link on Twitter and see if anybody is interested to jump in. Only thing I need to be worried about is people who come and make nuisance. So I'll be doing one thing. Let me just mute all. And once we have people in the group who have moved from YouTube to here, I can close the meeting, and then we can have people discussing with each other easily without any issues. So give me 1 or 2 minutes, and I think by that time we'll have more than enough people to jump onto the Zoom call. The link is shared in the YouTube channel. So if you're there, you should click on that, come here. All right, so let's pick up the tickers from that list, from the chat. I have a chat open on my other thing. So I wanted to discuss on Oracle. Oracle is showing some strength. So we'll go one by one. If any of you have any opinion on that, please let me know. And if you have any chart with you, you can let me know and we can talk about that chart. If you want to share your screen, you can share your screen and then we can take it from there. So Oracle is making inside day. Just disable the. Because problem is, as soon as I do this, okay. So Oracle is making an inside day. If I have to make a note here, I'm not including them in my list, but if Oracle in my notes, Oracle is making inside day. And it has shown some good strength, a breakout from the inside day here. It went up, 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 break this 94, and then went up to 97, make all-time highs. So it's coming towards the all-time resistance. So anytime it comes around 93 area, I'll be jumping onto this because then it's catching up the EMA, which is always a sign of strength, and then be long on Oracle. So 93.50 is the entry area for me if it comes here, because even if it's an inside day breakdown, it will come and take a support here. This is the long-term resistance line. Now it will act as a long-term support line. So it's a good entry area. And if it breaks out on the higher side above 97, which I doubt, then we can be positive on this straight away. But I'll be a buyer here at 93.50. So I'll be a 93.50 stop loss guy. And target will be 97.35, which is the all-time high first. And buy in this range. That will be my 93.50 to 94 on Oracle. Do you have any other opinion on Oracle? Anybody? Have like allowed you to, you can like unmute yourself and speak. Any opinion on Oracle? Anybody? No.
No. I think Oracle, I was not even hoping to go over more than 92. I think 90 to 93 was previous resistance, but I think it should.
Yeah, 90 was some area where it had some pushback, but once it break it properly and break above this long-term resistance line, as soon as it had a closing or move up, it simply moved. That's why I give importance to these trend lines. Tulio is also making inside day, and Tulio has like seen some of the bad days, but here it has seen some consolidation in this area, took the support right again in this area, and then bounced from here. So let me do one more thing.